Alright, so Mario Maker.
Super Mario Maker.
Today we're going to play Super Mario Maker on the Wii U.
Welcome to Couch Co-op Let's Play. Episode 1, 2, or 8.
Thwomp.
Episode it's Thwomper Day, or
Saturday.
Why is it Why is your Wii U set to Saturday?
Well, no, the Wii U is set back, but Super Mario Maker has failed to realize the updated clock.
Why did you change your clock?
To unlock shit. Because it wasn't arriving early. And
all mine arrived in the day one.
Yeah. No, mine, I had 2 of them arrive early and the rest I had to force.
All of mine came.
So
of course you still have things that you haven't used yet.
So
using things is what unlocks them.
I see.
You've got new notifications. You should view them. Let's see. Someone played 3 Lives to Live.
Sunken Cannons. Hey, I got a star.
Ooh.
3 people played Hammer. I got another star in Hammer, man. That's nice. I got Lazy. Oh, that's a classic. Loading Dock. That's a classic right there.
Yeah, Loading Dock. I skipped all of Loading Dock. I just ran underneath it. Yeah. Why would I not?
I'll take the Starman out and we'll see if you still run underneath it.
What I should have done is I should have put on the frog suit to add some challenge.
Unfortunately, we can't do that because there is no frog suit.
Okay, so you're following me. Okay, so go down to Magnus 1-4.
Alright, welcome to Magnus 1-4.
So the idea here is I wanted to try to make levels that would actually feel like...
Right, you reversed the controls.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I made the controls crazy for you. You can go back and make them wrong again. You should just get used to B and A, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
I like it. I like being able to hold down Y and then bump B.
I like to hold down B and bump A.
You deviant.
I know. It's almost like that's how it's supposed to be done. So yeah, instead of jumping over the Buzzy Beetle, you just ran into his face.
Yep.
So I wanted to make a level that had challenge, but again, like you mentioned before, had fair challenge. It wasn't... There's no... Or I tried to have it so that there's no tricks. If you go through it, you should know, oh, I should have done better. I tried not to have any troll moments. I wanted to make it feel like an adventure. I wanted it to have difficulty, but be fun. And I also found, this is the issue right here. I did not want that to be a troll moment. It's
right,
not,
but as you can see, let's drop down to the ice.
Yeah.
And then back up to the bones. And there's the ceiling.
There's the ceiling. So if you were able to see the ceiling, you would see those thwomps there. And you'd be able to easily run through there without getting hit. I'm going to have to go through and change this now. Because it doesn't do a ceiling scroll like I expected. That was disappointing. I also was a little bit disappointed in the number of doors you can have in a level. I ran out of doors and had to switch to pipes and create a whole other sub-level. Which I do appreciate the sub-level existing, but I would have liked more doors. I also like including boss battles. You're going to want to keep going that way.
Okay.
Alright. I like the different things I can do with the underwater stuff. I also like the mechanics of putting things that aren't usually underwater, like the wigglers. Angry wigglers in water is pretty hilarious.
Alright. Anything like Angry Birds?
Now this part here was a little bit redundant. I
guess I can't wear him as a helmet in Mario 1.
I tried to fill too much space with the same thing over and over and over. I probably should have made this a little bit more unique than what it is. And there's
Actually, that'd be a great way to showcase the difference here. See, you jump up here, you can see them.
Yeah, you can see them, no problem. So I will have to fix that because the screen will not scroll all the way up. And I like to add a little bit of difficulty.
That's okay, I'll just keep. You see now,
spam.
In any of the original games, this wouldn't work because the fireballs would stop existing as soon as they left the screen.
Right.
But Bowser's really big, but he can't fire his breath high enough to hit me here.
You also can't make him throw hammers.
Yeah, that's another. You can stick a hammer brother on top of him.
You can stick a hammer brother on top of him, or you can go ahead and hit that question block that you're standing on top of.
Oh no.
No?
I mean, this just goes to show you that, like, the bigger you make an enemy, the more, oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just run and
Hey, hammer brother.
jump. Yeah. I was going to put him on top, but then I thought, nah, I'll just hide him in a... So technically that's a troll, but it's not a troll that will instantly kill you. It's kind of a troll for humor.
Take that, dry bones.
Yes, you're dead now. So I think that was a pretty nice adventure. It had some challenge to it, but it wasn't so much of a challenge that you felt frustrated. I do need to fix the thwomps because they did not do it. They are too much
And
like a
one of
troll.
the things, as you can see from my original comment, one of the funny, perhaps unintended consequences of the stage design is that you have a door that opens up on the other side of the wall from a bullet bill dispenser, and if you linger too long, it will shoot you through the wall.
Well, I set it up and then I noticed, hey, there's a bullet bill there. So yes, that I did know about.
All right. Well, are there any other stages that are good for highlighting?
Yes, I'd like to, on 2-4, I'd like to explain what I wanted to do with airships. Also, a little bit more on what I wanted out of a boss fight. So one thing that I thought the airships in Mario 3, like the levels themselves, they're very short, they're very small. I wanted to make kind of bigger ships. Obviously, this was my first take on making a big Mario 3 airship, but I just wanted it to feel like you were in a big boat.
I always wanted a boat.
This is another issue where it takes a bit to get it to scroll to the top, and the doors are all the way to the top. You also need to jump off of the little falling donut in order to get to that question block. Technically, if you jump up high to the right and make it, that would make it a little bit easier.
Yeah,
so it's a shortcut, but it's more difficult, as shortcut should be.
I wanted to. This also further illustrates another problem: is that you can't have a power-up that's a mushroom and then either a fire flower or a leaf or whatever if you're already big.
Right. Yeah. That I definitely think is an issue. And there, of course, is a troll, but he's just a troll for fun. He probably won't affect your success. Okay, so here, we had the pipe go down, and now you're in a different part of the same level, but you're not. This is actually the sub-level. I just recreated the entirety of this section into a sub-level. So you're not in the same area. You're actually in a sub-level. So I had to go through and put every single piece into both levels. This is the part where I wish you could have
Hey, here's something new.
a pipe exit into the same level. It would have saved me a whole lot of work.
Yeah. You just can't have, and you also can't, because you can't have pipes that go to the same area, you you also can't have a pipe that it scrolls along with you as you travel through it.
Right, like in World 7 of Mario
Yeah.
3.
There's actually one of the 10 Mario challenge levels
Yep.
actually very clearly illustrates this. And I very clearly can't talk and chew gum at the same time here.
Sure.
But it clearly illustrates this by having world. It was 7.2 or 7.3, and it was a world that you could go down pipes and into this underwater section, but it scrolled with you up and down and up and down.
Yes.
Which also points out another thing that we can't do in Mario Maker, which is have a world that is partially underwater and partially above water. You're all in.
Yes, it's one or the other. You can't do like everybody's favorite World 3-8, the crazy water level changing Big Bertha level.
Oh yeah, Big Bertha also missing.
There's a lot of enemies that are missing.
Yeah, every single boss that isn't Bowser or Bowser Jr. is missing. Like Boom Boom's missing. The Big Boo is missing. You can give a Boo a mushroom, but
Make
that's
it medium sized.
Yeah, that's not the Big Boo. That's not the mini boss Boo.
You're also missing. There's the. I guess it's like a ghost on a unicycle or something, a ghost on a bike that is in some ghost houses. You're also missing the vertical saw in Mario World.
Oh, you're missing a lot of the dinosaur-themed monsters from Mario World.
Yeah, you're missing. There's a lot of stuff missing, and I understand why they can only have so much in the game, and that's okay, especially if the NX has Mario Maker 2, because there's room for improvement.
Yeah, there's absolutely no elements from several games like that could produce some unique elements, like New Super Mario 2 with all of the gold flowers, like the gold suit, the gold flower. The ice flower from the New Super Mario series is also missing.
Yes.
The Maxine Mushroom is available, but, it's gated behind an amiibo.
Okay. So this is the new version of a boss battle. At first I had made it a regular sized Bowser and figured, why don't I have you try to beat him? But it takes so many hits to kill Bowser, it was boring, is what it was. So what I wanted to do instead of trying to beat Bowser, make him extra large, and so he's just in your way, and then have you want to try to fly past him. Which you're about to. Well, I thought you were about to. And I also added on both ends of the screen cannons that shoot leaves out so that you can keep getting the raccoon channel. Now you can fly up. And you'll notice the two spike balls on the top right. When I first designed it, I had it so you fly up, and if those spike balls aren't there, you can just shove your way, because you can hit the bottom without consequence, and you can just bounce your way up through. So I had to add those there. Let me show you. I want to play that level again. What did you do?
No, I did nothing. You hit over.
I didn't.
And over and over and over and over, apparently. You want... These are your start courses. You want your uploaded courses.
Oh, you're on... Okay. Alright. So we're going to play this one again, and let me show you a couple of things. Number one, and I added just for my own... This is the type of thing that you can do if you want to create an impossible level, and the only way to beat it, you can't actually have an impossible level, which is one of the great things about this game, is in order to upload it, you have to be able to beat it.
Oh, are you going to drop down now?
Yes. So I did this, which I could have made this level crazy, crazy, crazy hard, so hard that I wouldn't be able to beat it, and then just have this little trick here, and people would get ultimately endlessly frustrated with my level. So this bypasses the entire level very, very cheaply. But you still have to fight the final boss. But I also have this up here. You can free this guy. Well, I'm not going to bother freeing him, but you can free him and use that to fly away.
Oh, he actually hit himself with a bomb.
Nope. I think what he did is if
Bumped the spike.
If he bumps the spikes, the same thing happens. So there's that.
All right. All right, Chris. Would you like to try a few of mine?
All right, and then we'll get back to mine after that. So let me try seeing what I can do against some of your levels, even though I think I've.
All right. So mine were not as thought out as Chris's, but they were mostly made to do awful things to him. This was based off Chris's first level ever made, where he put a flying question block, and I was waiting for it to go by, and it managed to accidentally kill me. Inspired by that moment, I created this level. But, like the other one, it has secrets, it has alternate paths, and as inescapable as death may seem, there is always a way out. Bad timing, Chris. And of course, they all have Starmen because being invincible won't save you from crushing damage. Damage. No control for that damage. Yeah. Oh, you didn't want to go down?
No.
And like any gimmick level, the gimmick comes back to help you get to the top of the flagpole.
Mario time!
You're an excellent gimmick creator, Andrew. All right, what else?
Yeah,
What other level do you want me to destroy?
Well, the other problem with that is that was built during day one things, and there was hardly anything. You had to be really creative of what it gave you on day one.
That's true. I think it was weird. I mean, I like the idea of having basics, so you get used to creating the level and trying to use new ways that you might not have thought of if they gave you everything at once. But it was very contrived, ridiculous ways that you unlocked things.
Now, this is my most popular level, and I have no idea why.
3 lives to live.
I just kind of... Here, you'll also see a problem with the scrolling.
I remember dying once. That's a good start right there. Okay, what? Okay, so I'm hearing a delay from the computer, and that's why it's screwing me up.
Yes.
Alright. It's also not helping that it controls back to wrong.
I don't know, didn't stop you at all in the death trap stage.
Well, that's because I knew what to do with death trap stage now.
Well, you can just change
No,
the controls back if
I
you're
got
that
it.
concerned.
You know, I'm also, I'm not as comfortable with the new Super Mario Brothers U style, just because it's not typical for me. I never played this game.
I actually made this level originally as a Mario 1 level, and it only became a new Super Mario Brothers level because it looked butt-ass ugly as a Mario 1 level. Alright, so here's a little secret and an alternate path there. And if you're fast, you can take it all the way to the end. But there's this whole second half of the level.
Should I go back to the other half of the level?
100 points, very good.
I'll do what I can. Do you want me to play it again and see what the other half of the level was?
Yep, sure.
Alright.
There's like this... For whatever reason, this is my highest rated level. I don't know why it's worth 5 stars. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't either. Of course, if you go to the highest rated levels on your search, which is another problem with how this game came out in different areas before it came out in the United States. And so there was already terrible shovelware on this game system, on the online thing before. Okay, should I just go down?
Yeah, just go down.
Alright.
So
That makes
the
it...
scrolling works in its favor here because that hidden path you can no longer see.
So should I go down or middle?
You can go down.
Alright. Should I go
Middle.
to the left?
You can go to the left or the right. The left is difficult to see. The right goes straight to the end.
Oh, well, that's a little bit easy. Can I go to the left?
And all the left really is this path that will take you to a 1-up. But I made this before I could do pipes indoors, so I might have like I might change it in the future to have a pipe at the end that comes back that takes you to one of the pipes near the end.
Yeah, because 1-ups are moderately useless in this game, even if you're doing the 100 Mario.
Yeah, you only get to take 3 of them with you, but
Right.
there's only 3 1-ups in this stage, so not including the one you can get from topping the flagpole.
True.
So you get 1 chance to mess up, and then if you collect all of the 1-ups, you get your maximum replenishment and can continue the 100 Mario challenge that better equipped.
Right. Alright, so do we want to showcase your best level?
No, I actually want to see if you can do this without just swimming at the top, because I felt this was like my best actually designed level.
Then why didn't you put something at the top that makes you not want to swim at the top?
Well, maybe I will.
Well, maybe you should. Now, one thing someone did, I played, it was they had a water level that they created, and then they posted it again. They just changed it so the water wasn't there. All the fish were still there, all the obstacles were still there, but the water wasn't. So it changed the dynamic of the game completely. It was a lot of fun. It was actually extremely hard.
Now, this is a level I felt I did a very good job telegraphing challenges for. I mean, it starts you with some fish on the first screen, but they won't kill you because they're red, so they just go back and forth. They won't come at you. And then the cannons start with some very simple mechanics. You see, I thought like putting the spikes there would actually keep people off the top.
Well, fortunately, because this game doesn't care about...
Yep, the only trick to this level is if you take too long, it will eat you alive.
Well, I don't want to get eaten alive, Andrew. So it's so difficult to try to get underneath there because you have cannons all the way up.
Well, you can walk on the top of the cannon and just right into the room.
But again, why would I choose to?
Because it's much easier to.
Right, but why wouldn't I just pass over it?
Well, you want the fire flower, now that you know it's there yet.
Exactly. Yeah, again, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just go as high as possible?
Because you'll just be bounced.
Oh no!
Alright, one more try.
One more try.
I'm just going to go through as I would normally go through, knowing that there's... Oh, that's the other thing. There's no challenge points. There's no reason to explore anything other than taking the easiest possible route. Oh, I thought I would have stomped him in the head. He hit me from below. That looked like I should have stomped him.
That must have been more to the side.
Yeah, clearly, but that's an interesting hit detection on that one. It would be nice if there were objectives that you could do, if you could put in challenge coins, because that would definitely add a whole other level.
Well, I've been trying to one of the things I've been trying to use as challenge coins is like 1-ups.
Yes, but the problem is 1-ups don't matter.
Yeah, because you play just one stage and it's over.
Alright, I'll do this just to satisfy you. What do you want me to do? Oh, look, it's 1-up. Go down here. Oh, I can't. So I'll go up here. I'm not going for that. I would not go for that. Or do I want to go up high?
You probably should go up high there.
Look at all those 1-ups.
Yep.
I'm a billionaire now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or... Yeah.
Nothing happens. Okay, so do you want to? Do you have another level you want to showcase?
I do. Yep, this is probably... Oh, I tried really hard on that level, damn it. But not half as hard as I tried on this one, in which I hit the enemy placement limit.
I've hit that a couple times. All right, so you want me to try to make it through this?
As opposed to like the flying question blocks where I hit the wing limit
Right.
very quickly.
All right. Why don't you? I'll play through it and you talk about everything you want to talk about because I'm sure you have a lot to talk about.
Oh,
with this
yes.
particular level. And since I will probably die, you have plenty of time to talk.
This level begs me for checkpoints. I have here the mystery mushroom to turn you into Mega Man, and the blocks to make sure you do so before you leave. And basically what this is doing, what this level, the whole point, the whole point of this level is to make a Mega Man level in Mario Maker. And while there's not a lot of stationary or slow enemies in Mario Maker, so, you know, I just do the best I can with what I've got. But one of the things you'll see is a lot of vines because, you know, Mega Man levels are covered in ladders. And you'll also see a lot of upcoming challenges telegraphed well here. As you'll notice, the falling fuzzy beetles, there was one that couldn't possibly hit you earlier, so to let you know to expect it.
Yep.
And we have the traditional Mega Man death of falling into spikes there, because I obviously can't have a pit on the upper half of the stage.
Very true.
And here we have two rocky wrenches in a position where they couldn't possibly hit you, but now you know they're coming.
Now that spike there has got me.
Yeah, but again, there's spikes at the top. It's the third time you see a spike in the whole level. And this room felt particularly Mega Man to me. Now that pit, I noticed, gets a lot of people because they're trying to run.
Yep.
And, you know, running is not the Mega Man way.
Nope.
You want to slowly, methodically examine enemies and make your way through. Now, this stage admittedly has bugger all in the way of alternate paths, but, you know, that wasn't really the point here.
Well, Mega Man doesn't typically have alternate paths.
And the fireball spitting cannon, I didn't end up... I was closer to the end of the level than I thought by the time I got to this point. I was originally going to do more with the fireball cannons, but again, we have one where it can't hurt you.
Right. Now this one here has got me a few times.
Oh yes, the
it
low
might
jump.
still get me. There we go.
Yeah, that's the first of two low jumps in this level. But again, it's there to emphasize, you know, the Mega Man-ness here,
now
which is take it slow and easy.
If this gets me, then it's much more difficult to get through here because the next fire cannon is much harder to dodge.
Yes. The fire cannon hits almost exactly where you would stomp on that beetle. And the second you jump up, it's going to start firing.
Well, of course, then that just happened. So...
Yep. And again, this is a very long level because... Ready! It winds back and forth along itself.
It does, and it comes into the same problems I had with top scrolling in the top half of the level. I do really appreciate not just the visuals, but also the sounds. There's the slide, the different visuals that happen, and then
of
the
course,
sounds of the slide. It sounds like Mega Man.
Yeah,
and
if
I
you
would
fall into one of our many pits...
Do you want me to fall into a pit?
No.
Okay.
Well, that one won't work, but... Yeah, you might fall into one anyway, because of the two shallow jumps.
Right.
Slow down.
Nope.
Yeah, another difference between the Rocky Wrenches of yore is that they don't infinitely respawn.
Yes, which is great.
Yep, be careful your jump there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
actually
not to jump too high.
That right there is actually supposed to be the practice for the shallow jumps later. Because if you jump too high, you end up back on the platform, or you bop your head against a Goomba coming out of the pipe.
You can actually, if the Goomba's there, you can hit the Goomba with a more shallow jump than you would get back on. So it's actually more dangerous. Yeah,
Oh,
look at the stack of X's. Fortunately, this is actually counting against you, not me, because you're playing your own level here.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about my rating. I know it's not going to be very good by the time I actually complete a hard 100 Mario challenge.
I just did. I completed the expert mode.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have luck on your side, and you also got to know when to bail, and bail early, because it costs you a life to switch to a new level.
Yes, it does. I ended with, like,
yeah, I actually
somewhere in the
raised
teens.
that. You notice, if you backtrack a little bit, you see how that pipe you land on is higher than the one straight across from it?
Yes.
They were originally the same height, but it took you too low to see the ceiling.
Okay.
So I bumped that pipe up so you would be able to have some warning here.
Excellent.
And I wanted to do a high-level spike trap more often, but I just plain ran out of room by the time the level was done, because I couldn't just keep making rooms without enemies. I also had an idea to use a P-switch to try to make a disappearing block puzzle, but it just didn't work out. There are a couple of spots on the map where there are empty rooms from things I tried out, and that just didn't work. Oh no, that's a nice hazard there. But hey, you will slowly get more 1-ups if you just wait there.
Which again,
Like infinite 1-ups in Mega Man, and we're forging new ground here.
the 1-ups in Mario Maker are like the points in Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Where we make up the rules and the points don't matter.
That's correct.
I was worried there for a
Locked
second.
out on that one.
Yep. I mean, you get coins for the second one, but no such luck here.
Ooh. Yeah, that's almost got me before. Oh, good sound effect right there.
This part's just kind of fun. It just ends up collecting the Goombas so you can bounce off them to collect the coins if you're daring.
If I... Oh.
And then a classic Mega Man multi-screen drop.
Which, by the way, sucked. Because if you bounce off that turtle, you can't hit those spikes.
Oh, well, go back to the wall. Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Hit the spikes?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to do that?
Oh, just jump.
No.
Jump.
Oh. Yay, I went up. And yay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So this doesn't look like a shallow jump, but it most certainly is.
Yes, it is. Ah!
Boy, that's bastard than I expected it to be. Alright, and here comes the boss. Hammerman.
Hammerman.
Yep.
Hammerman.
Now, do you see the ceiling here?
Yes.
You know, there is an easy way out if you want to take it. Wait, you might want to get away from the pipe.
Oh. I wouldn't say that's easy necessarily.
Well, you know, hey, nothing's that easy in Mega Man.
If I do that, alright, I'm not gonna go through that last little section where it shows you the last little piece.
Alright, well...
Are you gonna make it through without dying? Can you do better?
I'm gonna give it a shot. Yep.
So I had actually seen a few different game-related, like other franchise-related levels. One I saw was actually a really cool underwater maze with Pac-Man. There are other opportunities to become Mega Man.
I know, but I didn't want to screw up and land on the spike.
Well, that's true. So there was a nice Pac-Man one that was an underwater maze, and you actually look like old school Pac-Man when you're in that tight space. So that was really cool. And of course, if you get a star power and you have enemies, you can go. It goes through and it looks like you're eating the enemies. But in a horrifyingly violent manner, like Cookie Monster, because of course the enemies go flying. Then I actually saw a really good reimagining of the first level of Mario 2. They called it Doki Doki something or other, based off of obviously Doki Doki Panic. They called it like Doki Doki Crybaby or something like that. It's a really fun level that had a very well designed boss fight. Alright, here comes your shallow jump. What do you got? Excellent. Ooh, and not get hit. Now you got a backup in case. Now you have a backup in case you get hit by the Hammer Brothers. You should be able to just run and jump over a lot of them, couldn't you?
I know, but...
Alright, so here's the final area.
Yep, mushroom sitting right there to re-Mega Man you.
Get equipped with ...
Coins.
An infinite supply of Goomba boots.
Yep.
They're called
So
Goomba
then...
boots now.
Yep. Getting those mushrooms out again, so make sure you're Mega Man. And this is also to make sure you have the boot.
Hey,
Heavy boot.
heavy boot.
Das Boot. And then some note blocks, so you jump.
Excellent. I do like that little... The amiibo support in this game is amazing. Now they have so many unique things for each amiibo character. Alright, would you like to check out a couple more of my levels?
I actually have some other levels that I have downloaded.
Oh, okay. Have you unlocked the Nintendo World Champion levels?
I have.
Have you beaten the Nintendo World Champion levels?
Only one.
I beat the first three. I couldn't beat the fourth because I got to the last section and I ran out of time. that's one of those things where it could really benefit from a halfway point, because that is a long, long level. Oh, okay, so this is Adventure to Link.
Yep, an
I recognize
Adventure
that
Link
immediately.
inspired level.
That's amazing. Excellent.
Now, there are a lot of places that are just flat out optional. Another swamp ceiling problem here.
Well, yeah, but you saw it ahead of time,
Yeah, well,
and they put arrows.
Yes,
So
that
that
helps.
that is a fix. Oh, this is excellent. I'm very happy about this. I actually think this is way better than the game itself. Now, how often do they have replacements in case you lose your Link status?
If you kept the green turtle there, you could kick a box and get a Zelda amiibo.
Aha.
And
But shouldn't she be passed out right now?
there's also all sorts of stuff. Oh, here, we'll just do it this way.
Ah, there you go.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Sometimes I wonder if there's something here. But yeah, this is very clearly the design of Adventure Link, and it's wonderful.
Now, is this, because you know the game way better than I do, is this actually patterned off of one of the particular levels, or is this just...
It is not patterned after a particular level, it's just following the general design language.
Okay, alright.
Now, just about everything down below is, like, optional.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And this room is extremely, like even the use of the Hammer Brothers, you know.
It does feel a lot like those guys who throw the little fire things.
Yeah.
They actually look like Molotov cocktails, but, you know. Yeah, this is a great reimagining. I don't know about the stiletto. I'm not sure how that really fits in, but... Oh, now you're
Now
another
we're
way. Now
Toon
you're
Link.
Toon Link.
Or Wind Waker Link.
Well, yeah, Wind Waker Link is known as Toon Link.
Yeah, that one's just a regular mushroom for some reason. And then we can just go straight down here. And if we hit that guy, we'll get a red potion. There's also again in one buried deep within the level.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's really difficult about creating boss battles is you have to make it a way to entice somebody to actually go through the trouble of the boss battle and not just pass it completely. Alright, so this level here, created by a Facebook friend, I suppose, somebody, part of a Facebook group to help make it easier to share levels, because honestly, Nintendo is terrible with online communities. So people have gone to other online communities. So this is his Doki Doki Crybabies, which, as anybody who's going to listen to this podcast knows that Doki Doki Panic is Mario 2.
Worst kept secret.
Yeah, pretty well known. So this is meant to feel like the first level of Mario 2. Mushroom. That's another thing. I know it's a completely different playstyle, but I would have liked to have seen Mario 2 represented. It's got a very unique design.
Yeah, Mario 2 isn't represented, or Mario USA as they call it overseas.
Right.
So that's not represented. New Super Mario 2 stuff isn't represented.
Yeah, but
Mario Land 2 isn't represented.
Well, the thing is all the new Super Mario games are all pretty much the same.
Well, no, not really.
They all
I mean, the Land 2 had a lot of unique elements to it. I mean, the aforementioned, emphasis on gold had a bunch of power-ups unique to it all about, getting more coins. Yeah, much longer fuse on these than the bombs in Subcon there. Well, it's a good thing you got hit.
Well, it actually makes this part a lot harder.
Whoa! So he's eventually going to break through, right?
Nope. Do that 3 times. And then is actually the most difficult part. You have to throw this up here without getting hit by it. See? But I failed.
Yes, you did. Perhaps I should have put that 3 high instead of 4.
But that's that level. That was the end of it, so. Alright, so we're going to exit this course and go back into one of my courses, the latest one that I made. And actually, one of my favorite types of levels in all Mario is the Ghost House.
Yeah. And Magnus 3-2 you are stuck at, mostly because you have that 10 limit until you get 50 stars.
So I can get 50 stars.
And even then, that'll only take you to World 7.
Well, I really just wanted 4 worlds. And I'm going to go back through and replay or remake some of my lesser levels.
Yep, so when I played through this, I realized that there are so many things in Mario World that aren't present here. Like, for example, P-switches that change things other than coins to blocks.
Yep.
The boo circles, Mario World had much larger ones.
They also had a whole space of boos that were like shadowy boos that you
Yep, and they're the boos that turn into blocks when you face them, also missing.
Now, what did you feel the first time you saw the end right there and you passed through?
I felt that this is very Ghost House, is what I thought. And then we have Chris's hallmark of a Triforce. You can't quite see it all, especially when the boos are moving.
Not right now you can't, but you will be able to soon. Yeah. Now there is a cheat, which I'm just going to bypass right now because there's no need. But just to the right of me is a little cheat where you can get up top here. And all that does is bypass this little gauntlet, which is probably the most difficult individual gauntlet in this level.
Now this is... well, it's a good thing you took a hit immediately. Yep.
So this is also a little bit of a problem because you can... at first, before I added in those spike balls...
You could just drop straight down.
You could just drop straight down to the next section, and...
Actually, why don't you just take the hit and drop down anyway?
Well, what's the fun in that? Let's just...
Yep. Now, this is a tricky part. Now, if you notice, you had several opportunities to get a Fire Flower.
Yes.
And this Maggie Koopa here is the first enemy in the entire level that could actually be killed by a fireball. However, because you don't want to do that ridiculous bullshit over there with the donut lifts, you want the Maggie Koopa instead to stay alive and eventually zap a block out from under you, so you can just drop down and be okay.
No, honestly, it's not that hard of a...
Because when you're on the donut lifts, you have to jump up and down. You have to wait for, the appropriate moment, You have to wait for the opening in the booze. All the while, the dry bones from the right side of the screen are throwing bones directly where you're standing. It's just not a good idea to be there.
Alright.
Now this guy loves pulling out a bone right before I land on him.
Now see, this is, as you can see up at the top of the screen, where you just be able to fall down. And let's try to avoid doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you can
Here's
see
the Triforce,
and
and
Lord.
yep, make sure you hold the button there, or you'll just get knocked off.
Really? That happened to you?
Yeah.
Now here, did you choose right?
No, I chose incorrectly,
You chose the right
and
path.
that was very not fun to have to redo all that again.
So let me just.
Well,
because
you can show the shortcut.
I can
now.
show that, and then it just brings you to here, and then you climb up here, and oh yeah, I'm an asshole.
Well, they
So
don't
now-
know it yet, but now they do.
And now they realize that I suck at my own game.
Yes, you do. Well, you'll be able to show the shortcut anyway.
Right. So that happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, other things.
Too busy talking instead of
Well,
game playing here.
yeah.
So what I
Hey,
really
it even happens to James and Mike, so don't feel
Yeah.
bad. But another thing you can't do in the ghost houses are the blue doors that show up during a P-switch.
yes.
You can't do those. You can't do multiple exits.
Oh wait, I want
That's actually pretty standard Mario fare, starting from World and going forward. That
I really love multiple exits, and that's the one thing I really wish I could do. But I do. One of the things I love about ghost houses is that they're tricky. They're a maze, and that's what I wanted, was multiple ways to send you back and forth, different directions, do different things. Of course, I just passed this area here.
Yep, and the Maggie Koopa is even more useful in getting you down.
Yep. I'll just drop. Well, that would have worked better. Oh, right then. Well. Alright, back to square one.
Back to Square Enix. No?
Nah.
Alright, and there's a potential shortcut up there if you let the Maggie Koopa, if you get very lucky with which blocks the Maggie Koopas destroy.
Oh, that's true. That would be a huge shortcut, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Oh well. Honestly, the level's not that hard, but you know what's funny? You're still the only person to beat it. Now this part gets me every time. Like,
Well-
I cannot successfully accomplish. Ah!
Well, that's why you should just grab a Lackey 2 Cloud and...
I gotta beat this.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing.
Yes, it is. Hey, even I did Hammerman on my first try.
Yeah. It's possible that my level's a little bit harder than Hammerman. I don't know.
And of course, we will be including the codes for all of the levels that we've showcased here today in the video description. If you're on YouTube, you'll see it like in the literal description.
So
If you're looking at this on the blog, it will be just right in text on the post. And if you get this,
besides us listens to this.
and if you are listening to this as a podcast, which I'd be really stupid to put on the podcast thing, just the audio, because we talk about what's happening on the screen so much, but hell, for completion's sake, why not?
What am I I can't... I think it's the controls.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
gonna keep
control.
blaming
It's
the
the
controls.
controller. It's
I need a Super Nintendo controller.
I used to believe that only a poor craftsman blames the tool.
Uh-huh.
But, then I discovered how poor quality the tools were at my workplace. And they really do legitimately hinder operations. Though I noticed that I've been mostly panicking on those donut lifts because I don't think you even have to delay them. Just the
You have
two
to
of
delay
them.
this. You only have to delay the second one by one little hop.
Yep.
You let the first one fall.
And it's just the perfect, and it's very well timed with the rotation of the ghost wheel.
Yeah.
Another disappointment I was making. Speaking of the lack of slopes, there's also a lack of ice terrain. I mean, you do have the ice blocks, which we can see on the other side here.
Oh look, it came with me.
You know, they're just blocks. That's all they are. You don't have a level that's an ice level that you can make, you know, a World 6 from Mario 3 in, and you should have just waited for that.
Can I just download this?
You can, but you have to exit the course first.
I'm exiting the course and downloading it so I can just showcase parts of it.
Remember, you have to beat.
I'm too busy
Remember, you have to beat the level before you can upload it. But you know, one of the early ideas I had for a level was, you know, similar to the Sonic one.
You want me to just put it right here next to the rest of them?
Oh yeah.
In World 30. Edit this course. Yes, please.
Yep, and now you can just place yourself wherever you need to.
Yeah.
Well, this will also show people a bit behind the curtain of how things work.
So, one of the things that I'll showcase... Pay no attention to what I just showed you. Alright, so here, two things that I wanted to do here. Number one, right where Mario is, I wanted this door to give you a hint of, oh, look at that, it's the ending. Nope, you're not even close. The other thing I wanted to do is one thing I really like in Ghost Houses is the use of P blocks and having things turn from coins into...
Well, there's also another thing that's missing from Mario World and prominently featured in Ghost Houses, the coin snake.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. So here, what I had is I wanted a door that led you from the P block to the area where you needed to use the P block. So you have to step on the P block and then go through a door and find the coins that you needed to run along. And when I showcase that particular part of the level, which let me actually go through here, in there. Now I'll put myself at the end of the Lakitus where I keep dying. And I'll just start myself right here.
Hit the play button.
Yes, don't hit minus.
Yeah, minus will start you at the beginning. Play will start you where you were. And of course, up there, you can't see it now, is a fire flower to...
You can see it when you're jumping to the area.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of like ice blocks and ice terrain, the first idea I had was somewhat similar to my Mega Man idea, which is a Sonic idea, in which I emulated the speed by just using an ice terrain level and slopes to, you know, speed you up and so on and so forth. Can't do any of that in Mario Maker. I mean, you have these ice blocks here, which, you know, are okay, I guess. Oh, hey, it knocked off the bullet bill turrets.
So,
you might need to go
really quickly, I want to interrupt what you're trying to say to add in little information. This, I should say that it's going to be an auto-scroller. Keep people from touching anything. But if you touch nothing, this works just fine.
Yeah.
Now this actually takes quite a while, and a lot of people have done much better auto-scrollers than this.
Yeah, but I mean, this is your first auto-scroller, and it's it's really intricate. So, you know, don't sell yourself short here.
It also automatically throws you where you need to go. So you hit
onto
that
the P block,
you have to go through the door, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta run. And there's, normally there would be that little hole there with the coin, because you drop through the coin and there would be a little hole there.
Right, but since it's only one wide, it's a psych out, because you'll just run across it, because Mario can run across single gaps.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, and also in the ice blocks, for more things that are missing, is that there are more ice blocks, like the bricks that you can pick up and throw are missing. Again, used to defeat a Big Boo, also missing, in a ghost house in Super Mario World.
I really wanted those blocks. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do. I wanted those blocks when I had battles with Bowser. because regular Bowser throws bombs instead of those mechanical
the
turtles.
Mechanicupas also missing. But the other problem, there's a third type of ice block, which was featured rather prominently in World 6 of Mario 3, in which you would find enemies, coins, all sorts of things encased in, and fireballs would free them.
Now, here's one thing that I loved from Mario 3 was the tiny huge world. So I just made a huge world because you can't really change, you can't go from tiny to huge like you can with the doors in Mario 3. You can't.
Well, you could make the same level twice and have the doors warp you back and forth.
But the doors can't warp you between sub-level and regular
level. You wouldn't
level.
need to do it at a sub-level because you couldn't see the tiny level from where you were in the huge one.
Yeah,
and
but
you just populate
it
with huge enemies in the areas that are supposed to be huge, and tiny enemies in the areas that are supposed to be
So you'd have to cut the whole world, because you can't...
It would have to be half the length of a regular level.
Either half the length or half the height, and either way, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So I just made a huge level, and a little door to get into the huge level. And this, I wanted to use a couple of elements that I really love from older Mario games. One of them would be use of the turtle shell to break away blocks to get you to reveal hidden secrets.
Yes.
Oh, there's my troll.
Yep. Unfortunately, one of the things that we will see in the huge level is that, well, for sure, she can't have huge Goombas that don't explode into smaller ones. But we can also see quite plainly that you cannot make double-sized blocks.
You can't.
You can't
There's
make
a lot of
double-sized
things you can't
heights.
supersize. So you can't really make the huge world the way you want to make the huge world.
Also, you can't do waterfalls. As I'm remembering World 4-1 from Mario 3. And this is a nice little bit that invokes World 1-3.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have any note blocks that work here, and we do have a vine, the Super Mario 1 version of a pink note block. But again, vines also can't take you to a new level.
Exactly. This is some superfluous crap that you don't really need.
One thing I do love about the note blocks, though, is how that, in Mario 3 they did not affect everything, and now they do. And I felt that was something that deserved to exist.
More useless one-ups.
Yeah.
So this constantly shoots little leaves at you. That way because you need a leaf in order to get to the next spot. This is right here. And that.
And this is where Chris deliberately wastes your time.
Yes.
But it's designed in such a way that each and every brick will be destroyed.
Except for the left. Except for the last one on the left.
Oh, why'd you put a note block there?
I don't remember. But it was necessary.
Oh, hey, I want you to crouch on that white panel, because I've never tested this.
Nope.
Okay.
That would be something cool. Again, multiple exits, real secrets. You also... Oh. So you can make a lot of things extra large. Ooh, a bomb.
Giant bomb. Oh god.
Now, this part I thought was really fun.
Oh yeah, and the charging chucks are gone.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh no, I died. You died.
Yep. Not to mention the Fire Brothers and the Boomerang Brothers.
Yeah, this, as we mentioned, there's a lot of things missing.
Yep. And no Boomerang Brother suit either.
Nope. Well, Boomerang suit didn't exist yet, did it? Or was that a new you?
That was a New You thing, I think.
Was it? Okay.
Or was it 3D World?
Now here's my troll level. This is my purely troll level.
It was one of the first ones you made.
Yeah, it was. I can understand people not liking this one. Clear rate 1.85%.
1 out of 54. That was me. But I knew the secret.
Well, that's because I showed it to you, didn't I?
Did it in one. Like,
But see, I even add that little arrow at the left, so people like, oh, look, there's an arrow. Oh, look, at least this.
yeah, but then, they get the Starman, which is necessary for beating this level, but then they fall victim
To the rest of my trolls?
yes, all the invisible blocks on the edges of the pits.
Yeah.
So if they don't jump right, they get knocked in.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But now you've cleared it twice.
Yay! Congratulations.
So now I have 2, so now just make
see-
that level easier.
Magnus, comment. You need the hidden Starman.
See? I try to help people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you see, I got lazy was my vastly inferior take on it when I just threw a bunch of enemies in for the sake of doing a castle level in the hopes it would unlock something. Yeah, not a lot of people survive long enough to grab the star.
I think I beat it after this.
This level I learned you can only have 3 Bowsers.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, in case you didn't notice, the Lackey 2s throw fireballs.
Ah,
It's difficult to notice with everything else going on.
right.
But yes, I got lazy.
I think people appreciate the honesty of the level,
That's why it has 2 stars.
right? Well, one of them's me, so
I know, that's
Somebody
why the
else
second
liked
one
it.
is important. Like, this one, nobody liked. I mean, only 9 people have ever played it.
a simple respite.
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 And a lot of people are dumb enough to go in there. I just don't.
Well, it's so tantalizing with all those question
But,
marks.
yeah, again, this is one of those things where if you want an extra challenge, you will be rewarded.
Will you? What's in there?
Death.
A lot of it, apparently.
Yeah, like, a lot of people just drop right in there. But no, you can get an early power up there. I think it takes a little while before you actually find another one. There's absolutely no reason to go there, though. There is nothing there. Don't even try.
No, that doesn't look like a good idea. Oh, look, you already have a power up. What's Ganondorf? Is that a random one, or is that specifically Ganondorf? Oh,
That's a random one.
yeah. All of mine are random.
And then, simple 1 up here. Or 3 up. Now you can beat the level. Yeah, another thing that might be a trap.
Not the poison mushroom you wished it was.
Nope. Wait a moment. So, this is what's there. It's nothing much. This was what I turned the demo level into.
I turned the demo level into my 2-2.
Yes. I do, however, have an improvement on it. Only so slight. Because I've actually, as I've unlocked stuff from later days, I've actually added, or altered, or even just put backgrounds on some of these. Like, Three Lives to Live has a lot of new background elements now, but, nothing practically different. A simple respite, though. I actually,
Respite.
I'm trying to honor you, man, but you're not making it easy.
Well played.
Yep, so that's the only way in the stage you can get a fireball, is if you go in there.
That wasn't.
And there goes the fireball.
Yeah, you also can't make those shorter, move at different rates. You also don't have, even from the very first game.
I really like using the note blocks here instead.
Nice.
Because it really bounces those Goombas around.
Yeah, it does. Now, that's the other thing that doesn't exist in this game, is the balance beams, where you step on one side and it brings the other side up. That's a big part of even the very first game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so not a lot of changes there, but it didn't really deserve any.
No. The other thing, if you go back into your course selection, you'll see they
The
call
course world or the load courses?
the load courses. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And this is the problem I've had with all the games that aren't Mario World.
Which is?
You have... It's called World 1. That's called World 2. And you have different levels in the worlds. But you don't really feel any connection. Now, obviously, all the games since Mario 3 have had individual themed worlds. What I really loved about Mario World is the world was like a level in and of itself, kind of like Mario 64 did, kind of like Mario Sunshine did. I'm sure the Galaxy games did it also, I don't know, I didn't really play them. But Mario World, was this level too hard for you?
I beat it. I mean, I uploaded it.
Right. Mario World, you walk from one world to another, and the things that you do in the world feel organic, and they affect other parts of the world, and you can have multiple paths throughout the larger world. So why don't you just go underneath?
Oh no, I'm going overneath.
Overneath. Okay. Good luck. The things that you can do to do multiple paths throughout the worlds is to me more interesting. Like having the star road connect all the different worlds. And that's just something that has really never come back. I haven't seen it again since Mario World. They tend to continue to do the same.
Yeah, just like the end of Subcon there.
Yeah. They just have a world, but it's just a glorified menu screen, in my opinion. I mean, it looks nice, but you don't really explore it organically. And that's one of the main things about World that I like over Mario 3. The other thing is, if you're taking the games at face value for when they came out, Mario 3 doesn't have a save. I think that's a big problem. Obviously, they fixed it in later releases. But if you're playing the original game, it's really designed like an arcade game. The levels are shorter. There's a lot of fun in them, but they're shorter levels, quick action, quick platforming, less emphasis on really exploring a world, less adventuring. So I really love both of those games, but I think they're slightly different. I think they're slightly different. I'll try like for a third time.
Oh.
I think you're screwed there.
I feel bad for anybody who went after that one up.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. I think they're slightly different experiences. Mario 3 for me is more of what I feel like an arcadey type Mario game, and Mario World is more of an adventure type Mario game. So I think they're both very good experiences. It just depends what you're looking for when you sit down to play.
You know, I really like the design, the theme of this level. The enemy placement might be a little over the top.
Yes, Andrew.
I mean, so, did you do the bottom path without kicking turtle shells and everything?
I don't remember what I did. But I did beat all of your levels. Once.
Alright. No Starman, no turtle shell. Let's see what we can do here.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Yay! I honestly don't know if I used the Starman or if I just ran and jumped and used a couple of seconds after you get hit to flash my way to the end. Because again, like a good Mario 3 level, it's short. But knowing me,
I don't think there's quite enough invincibility left to duck and weave at the end.
well, no, I mean I did a combination of dodging, but if I did get hit, I would have just kept going. I would have just kept running to make sure that I, didn't waste my second of invincibility. Yeah, being able to have sub-items so that
Whoa, where the hell did you come from?
you probably
I guess-
jumped down from up there. Yeah, like that one just did. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. They could, like, go right through the deck of the ship.
That's really cool. I think you're terrible at your own level.
No, this level was not designed for people to be good at. This was, it was supposed to be a war zone.
Right.
And boy, did I deliver on that premise.
Ooh, nice move. Ow.
Oh! Guess who come to visit?
Oh, they can jump up to...
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
awesome.
mean, they are Hammer Brothers after all. Where the hell? That guy came from all the way to the top of the airship.
Wow. Yeah, you have a whole collection of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, they can jump through anything, I guess. Really want to screw people, you just put a bunch of them at the top of the screen and wait and see if they drop down. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But I think we've done a pretty good job covering
I think so.
various
I think this
bits
was
and bobs and odds and ends.
a very good Let's Play. I think we can probably
I
call
think
it quits at this point.
I think we played it.
Alright. Sounds good. Next up is a Let's Play of Super Legend of Zelda Maker.
But first, Chris with the weather.
Space weather!